I need to loosen up. How about you? You good?
Yeah. Pepperami.
Pepperami. Yep. It's a bit of an animal.
Horrible stuff. Who eats that?
I do. I love pepperami.
Oh, it's disgusting. Have a word. Have a word.
CPOD. Press enter to begin.
Good evening once again, ladies and gents. Welcome to CPOD. I am your host, Dorian. With me this week is For Whom the L Tolls. Now, of course, it's our good man, Elliott, as always.
Ooh. No, that one I really like. Yeah. Touche, sir. Touche.
I'll tell you about that one. Yep. It's
I do.
It's Christmas week. It's we're getting a little bit closer to Christmas itself. I hope everyone's got all of their lists ready to go. I don't. Every time I look at the game store nowadays, I've absolutely got no idea what to buy or what to ask for. I still haven't spent that 20 quid gift card that you got me for my birthday, and that was in September.
My God.
It's bad. It's quite bad.
That's like 4-month decision fatigue, isn't it? If my maths.
Yeah,
no,
it is.
No, it's not. It's 3 months. Oh, excellent. Well, yeah, three months.
Sorry, I couldn't work out the math either. But yeah, I get frustrated when I'm thinking of a new game, because if I'm limited to how much I can spend, because I don't really want to go out of my own pocket. If you give me 20 quid, I'm like, oh, okay, so I could get these two. Or I could sacrifice that one and get this bigger game, but then I'm going to enjoy it as much. Oh, I don't know. So yeah, it's tricky. It's very tricky. I might never spend it. It might just sit there collecting dust and then one day become a relic.
You just wait. I know what your plan is. You're waiting for the next one to arrive at Christmas from me, and then it's like, aha, now I can get that game. It's all part of the plan.
Actually, no, that doubles the stress, because then I'd be like, oh, now I could buy one big game if I wanted to, or I could get 4 or 5 smaller ones, which opens up more possibilities. God damn it, which one do I buy now? Which ones? Plural.
I might just send you something like really inappropriate, just like £13, just to really like, oh God, no, now I can't, now I'm in that tier, but I can't afford anything. But I think that rolls us into Dorian. What have you been playing this week?
You know what? I've come off the Death Stranding train just a little bit to try and relax after work, and I've been pouring a little bit more into Minecraft. And since the new updates, I've come across this zombie on a zombie horse with a spear, which has been a nightmare to kill. And then I've come across this huge chasm where I'm trying to collect things for a little project that I've got going on in my Minecraft world. And I didn't realise that zombies can now pick up the loot that you dropped when they've killed you. So I keep going back to the spot where I've died to go and collect the things that I've dropped. And I'm thinking, hang on a minute, where's my iron sword? Where's my gold armour? I've turned around and the zombie that killed me is carrying the bleeding thing, raging towards me, and it's so stressful, because now I can't think of any way to win. I did eventually, of course, but it must have taken me like 5 attempts to get back into the cave, quickly gather whatever I could, and be like, right, what can I actually use to attack this guy? Diamond pickaxe. It's going to have to do. Attack's like 3, but sod it. So yeah, it was stressful. Much more stressful than I remember Minecraft being.
Yeah, you need some more cozy games in your life. I think we need to get you into the sort of the world of cozy games. Just peek behind the curtain a little bit.
I did play Stardew Valley a lot on my phone, and that was fun, don't get me wrong, but I got a little bit bored with it eventually. I must have poured about 40 hours into it, so it's a good amount. But yeah.
Some things like Satisfactory, potentially No Man's Sky, Discounty. There's a whole world of also really cheap indie games, like which that gift card, I think you could, there'll be even more decision fatigue, because you can get loads for a really short price,
Yeah.
You pay 9 quid for some of these indie games and you got 30 hours of gameplay there, so yeah, interesting. Have you been playing anything else then? So Minecraft instead of Death Stranding 2, you come off the Death Stranding 2 wagon for a bit.
Well,
to try to cheer yourself up, then got hunted down with your own weaponry.
Yeah. But so PlayStation did this wrap-up thing as well, a bit like Spotify, and I went on that, and I'm looking over at how many hours I've spent on so many games, and it said my 5th most played game this year was Jurassic Park Evolution 2. And I've not played that since very early this year. And then I realised just how little I've gamed this year in comparison to previous years. And it must be that my son just takes up the TV most of the time now. So instead of playing hours and hours and hours of Witcher 3 and Skyrim and Minecraft and Death Stranding and all of these games, it's Paw Patrol, Bluey, Mr. Tumble. I'm thinking, oh God, my son's taken over my PS5 and my TV and he's used it for CBBS of all things.
And this takes us back to the very first episode that we've done, in that I think you need a handheld in your life. You need a handheld that enables you to play the games that are still current. And I know you say you've got the Switch Lite, but the Switch Lite is kind of a very niche of a niche, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I think you want something that can play your PlayStation games. Do you know what I mean? I think you want to be able to dip into your favourite sort of platform of games. So yeah, I really do think that would change your world a bit.
The PS Portal, don't get me wrong, yes, sounds good on paper. It would be great if I could play that like in my hands in the living room while my son's watching his stuff. Fantastic. But I'm still against the idea that I can't really take it outside of my own home. I could, but my Wi-Fi is nowhere near enough to carry that signal to wherever I am in the world. It just seems like, don't get me wrong, people are selling them on Facebook Marketplace for about £100 now, half the price that they are at retail, but it still feels like £100's a lot for an external controller with a screen attached to it. It's not like your Asus Ally that you genuinely can game when you're out and about, because that sounds brilliant. If I could do that with the PS5, I'd sign up any day.
Oh, listen, you could do that with a Steam Deck. You could pick up a cheap Steam Deck. There's quite a few devices now where you still have that functionality. Even like cloud streaming devices like Logitech G Cloud, you can set up some emulation on there. So at the odd time that you don't have a solid Wi-Fi connection, that's a possibility.
Yeah.
I do think when you're at home, maybe the cheapest way for you to try it to see if something like this is for you is maybe trying some of the Xbox Play Anywhere. Maybe get Game Pass for a little bit with the cloud stream and maybe give that a go. But as you say, it's very dependent, isn't it, on the Wi-Fi? So there's a few. We need to. I think for you, we need to get you to try a few different methods for free or on trials, so you can really explore it to find what works for you. But yeah, just quickly going on to a tangent. So the Nintendo Switch UK podcast, the NSUKP guys, they recently announced this podcast on theirs, which is brilliant. So thank you very much. We both really, really appreciate it.
Cheers, guys.
Those guys, a lot of them are fathers themselves, and a lot of people in the Discord are also parents. And that's one thing they, I think, talk about a little bit with the Switch is, some of them don't always have access to the TV for exactly the same reasons as you say.
Yeah.
So it gives them another device where they can hop on and play. So, yeah, I just think we need to get you a handheld that's not necessarily stuck in a retro sort of style, something else that you can play modern titles on or stream to. I think that might do it. If you don't have access to the TV, then that's kind of
What we're trying to say is that if UK... What was their name? Sorry, my bad.
Nintendo Switch UK podcast.
There you go.
Or NSUKP.
So if any of you guys at the UK Nintendo Switch podcast fancy donating something to the cause, and we can basically sponsor you that way by going, by the way, these guys are great. They gave us a free Nintendo Switch, and this is what we think about them. Yep, that would go down nicely. No, don't send me a free Switch, please. I'd feel so bad.
Yeah, honestly. But yeah, I know that. See, for you, I don't see you playing many Nintendo titles. So I think, as I say, something that can play PlayStation games or something that can play games where it's from multiple platforms. I think that's kind of a good thing for you because you like to. I really like this title. I want to play it on here. I think you quite like that flexibility. Yeah, is the word I'm looking for.
Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, so you've been playing Minecraft. Anything else?
That's pretty much it. That's been on borderline 10 minutes on me. Tell me about what you've been playing, bud.
No, there's not much updates. That doesn't sound right. There's not many updates. No Man's Sky. I was home alone last night. The other half was out at their Christmas do. So I proceeded to spend 4 hours building a mega base.
That's a session.
And it was mega. It took me. I was completely brain fogged by the end of it because I'd spent so long mining ferrite dust and then transforming it into to walls and platforms and trying to be really clever with it all, just to find out today that I'd actually gone over the build limit and had to basically demolish half of it and start again, which was a bit wounding. But so I've kind of got like I've gone from mega base to just base really. But it means I can fill it. I can fill it with things now. So different items and entities and things. If you hit that limit, I could have a massive open space, nothing in it, or and as we've played games like that, we prefer things you can interact with. So, so I've been playing quite a lot of that, and to be honest, that's it. Realistically, I haven't gamed much the last week.
Yeah,
have been playing Halo Reach on the ROG, so I'm about 2 missions away from the end of that. I'm really enjoying that. And a new title is a game called Clover Pit. And can't remember if I told you about this, but Clover Pit, essentially, it looks like sort of quick graphics. You have a load of charms, which kind of give you bonuses, but the main sort of cycle of the game, or gameplay loop, is there's like a fruit machine, and you pull it down, and then you get coins as you would. You get money based on what you get, but you've got 3 rounds to deposit the goal, and if you miss that goal, the floor drops out beneath you and you fall to your death.
Oh.
And then you start again. But you get to keep the charms that you've earned if you put them in a drawer. So there's quite a few really clever bits that sort of keep you locked in. But yeah, it's a game that when we saw it was announced, we were like, oh, yeah, all right. And we've just ended up sinking hours into it. It's a really fun little game. It's what I was playing before you jumped on.
Fair play.
So yeah, that's it really. But yeah, No Man's Sky, still on that train. Still feel like I've just scratched the surface of it. And I went to the Anomaly.
Oh yeah,
which is the one point where sort of other players, you can see the other players and such. And I tell you what, the end game of that game now is just phenomenal. The amount they have invested into that. I know we'll get into it later. I know they won one award in the Game Awards, and quite rightly so, honestly. So yeah, still on that hype train, I'd say at the moment. Still on that one. Yeah, from me.
Fair play. Now, just to slide into our next topic. So by the end of last week, we discussed that this week we were going to be talking about Christmas games, and then you had an idea of what it was that you wanted to talk about, and then off pod, I said, I bet I know which one you wanted to mention. And this was the threat that Elliott made. He turned around and said, if you guess which game and which level I'm going to talk about, I'm just going to hang up the phone. And the result was that he immediately hung up the phone. The moment I said
like a true professional.
Yeah. So it was I'm not going to steal your thunder by speaking about it, but yeah, I know exactly what's coming. But you might surprise me, you might come up with something else. Maybe I've stolen that from you and you're like, right, I'm going to show it. I'm going to come up with something completely different. He's never going to guess what it is.
Die Hard trilogy. No, it was. Embarrassingly, I could try to scramble for my phone now and try to find the title, but I don't actually know the full title. Is it Gex 3D Undercover Gecko? I feel like it's with Deep 3D Gex or something. Come on, I bet you know the full title.
Gex 3D Deep Cover Gecko.
There you go. I knew it had some of those words in there, just all in the wrong order. How good was that Christmas level? When you could jump through the chimney as well and then drop into the little lodge.
I remember it was just playing, because to get to one of the ends of the level, you have to go down this huge ski slope where there's like elves attacking you and stuff, and there's an evil Santa in that level as well somewhere.
Yeah, there is. I remember that actually. Now you said that.
Yeah, you know what? I'm a little ashamed of myself because I collect games for the nostalgia of it. I collect games that I used to play as a kid and those that interest me. I had a copy of Gex 3D Deep Cover Gecko. I got rid of it not long ago.
Oh.
Mainly
that's wounding.
Yeah, I feel bad for doing it now, but I do remember trying to play it, and don't get me wrong, I loved it as a kid. And Danny John Jules, who's the UK voiceover artist for Gex, it was a comedian in the US release, but all of his quick little quips in every level were fantastic. I used to find them funny as well as some of the levels, but playing it as an adult, I don't know, it didn't feel like it aged very well to me.
See, that's strange, because the last time I played it, So I played it legitimately, in a legitimate way where I could change the anti-aliasing and upscale it.
Yeah.
And it looks great. So I was really enjoying it.
Oh.
Again, I have to kind of do that in order to make it feel like it was in my head, if that makes sense. As soon as I get it in the CRT, it seems to look like I remember, but outside of that, it needs a little tweaking. But I think there were rumours they were going to remake it, I believe, or a remaster, wasn't it? Yeah, I think they're doing a remaster.
There's rumours of lots but they've got remasters coming out of our ears at the moment. Yeah, I'll tell you what Gex 3D did come with, because what I only recently found out is that my favourite game of all time, Legacy of Kain Soul Reaver, was actually built on the Gex 3D engine.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, which is absolutely mad because...
Makes sense.
Does it?
You think about the camera angles.
Yeah.
And you think about I've done... I completed a course on Udemy on Unreal Engine 4. It was nothing. It sounds much fancier, I think, than it was. But thinking about kind of the entity in the camera,
yeah,
control and such, I can believe it.
Okay.
When you think about the two, both in third person, you think about them, they do seem very similar. It could just be a third person on the PlayStation 1, of which there weren't. I was going to say there weren't many, but no, there was. They did seem similar.
Yeah, it's well, one of the groundbreaking features of Soul Reaver was the fact that you could morph from one world into another, and I believe that the two were always rendering side by side, if I remember correctly. So your character would be able to switch directly from one to the other, and that's what feels a bit weird to me when I hear that it's built off the Gex engine, because I've been thinking to myself, I don't think Gex 3D could do that, could it, if it tried? Because I remember the render distances being very short, and it was very...
They were short, yeah.
It wasn't a state-of-the-art game at the time, Gex 3D. It looked good, but that's because everything had that artistic style to it. It was very cartoony. It wasn't trying to be realistic. But Soul Reaver... was, I'm not going to say groundbreaking, but it was a big technical achievement when it came out in 1999.
Well, going from your favourite game, I know we're gonna what's the stick that you throw that comes back sometimes? Not to boomerang back to this topic. Recently, you talked about remakes as well. So they've recently announced Guild Wars Reforged, which is Guild Wars 1. Which I know we spoke about it a little bit on one of the other podcasts. But anyway, for me, I was playing this game 20 years ago, growing up, and I had some of the most amazing role models in this guild that I joined when I was, probably 11 to sort of 15, mostly maybe 14. So surreal, because everyone's coming back online, and of course everyone's aged 20 years. So some people have got kids and so on and so on. And I formed a career in IT quite strongly from one of the role models.
Oh, wow.
That was in there, called Jonathan, and or Blaze as we remember him. Anyway, we had a call the other night on Discord. I think we spoke for nearly an hour, and it was the most just humble, just heartwarming, wholesome conversation I've had. Anyway, Jonathan's listening to the podcast, so hopefully he's got this far, and if you are listening, John, thanks very much. And it was a really, really wholesome thing, and just seeing everyone back online, and it's for me, it was literally, it's nostalgia, going back to that. What is funny as well is I think we had the same with a lot of PlayStation 1 games. I remember being stuck on areas for ages, or really struggling to get this certain item for this quest or something. And when you're older, you're just breezing through it instantly, or even in terms of like certain currencies in the game, just holding on to it and saving it, and then, I can get those items. Whereas when you're younger, you're like, oh wait, I can get a sweet shield. Yeah. Oh, I can't afford that item now. So it's been very interesting.
I'm the other way around in that regard, because I remember like when I used to play games as a kid, I used to breeze through levels on the Mega Drive, and nowadays I try and pick up the controller to play it, and I'm like, how did I ever do this? This is nightmarishly difficult. All the muscle memory's just gone. And so I find games so much more harder to play now than I did as a kid.
But the Mega Drive and those sort of Metroidvania sort of style games, I mean, yeah, it's completely different, isn't it? Because that's reaction times.
Yeah.
I guess a lot of those.
Yeah, I guess it is. But that little story of it's not just nostalgia; it's group nostalgia. It's everyone together experiencing the same thing. That must have been absolutely mind blowing. So yeah, that sounds fantastic. I'm really happy you got to do that.
Or logging back on this friends list. I can still remember all the key bindings and things as well. It's just crazy. And people on the friends list, and you see names pop up again, and we're going, oh my God, we've not spoken to you for years. What are you doing nowadays? Oh, I've got 2 kids. It's like, well, wait, what? Yeah, very, very surreal. And even strangers also. Our guild lead, Doug, who's now a doctor and still an excellent bloke. Someone else in the guild, he works in border control, and get this, just as the game was this sort of remake, slight rematch, so remaster patch that sort of came out. That's what a rematch was. It was a mix of those words put together really quickly. Anyway, he saw him running through customs, and I was like, what are the chances of that exact
That's insane.
What? But pulling it back to the topic, Guild Wars 1 and always have done, Guild Wars has, they do fantastic that they call Winter's Day. So all of the towns and everything suddenly covered in snow and very Christmassy, and same again that for Christmas games for me.
Yeah.
I think MMOs do Christmas better than anywhere else, because all of the the areas that you spent hundreds of hours in suddenly are all Christmassy, and so I think Gex is one of the best Christmas games ever played, but in terms of the games that remind me of Christmas, it's got to be the Guild Wars, it's got to be the MMOs where it's switched up. So how about yourself? What game would be your favourite Christmas game, and what game reminds you of Christmas?
Well, interestingly, what you've just said touches onto the games that I was going to talk about, because you've said that it's an environment that you're familiar with, and all of a sudden it's decorated just for Christmas, and you're in an environment that someone's put some tinsel and some snow and some trees around, and you go, oh, this looks great. And that's happened with 2 of my picks for Christmas games. And they are Christmas games. So the first one that I was going to talk about a little bit was Spider-Man Miles Morales, which is set in New York, but at Christmas. Ooh. It's the same New York as the first Spider-Man, but as I say, everything's set in winter now. And Miles' family is celebrating Christmas, so the decorations are up, etc. You get to look around the house as well, and I think even one of the costumes that you can unlock is a hat and scarf and stuff. It's brilliant, really, really nice. And the other one does something very similar, because the other one is set in Gotham City, but at Christmas, because Batman Arkham City is set in a section of Gotham City that's been sectioned off to become Arkham City. Then Arkham Origins, despite being set earlier, is set in a Gotham City where most of the map feels and looks exactly the same, but it's covered in snow, which gives it a kind of... I think it's set at Christmas. I can't remember, because it's been ages since I played it, and I don't think I ever even completed it. But both of those games do give off that Christmassy kind of feel, but in different ways, because Spider-Man Miles Morales does feel very uplifting, and it feels like you could walk those cold, brisk streets of New York in your hat and your scarf and say Merry Christmas to everyone. And Batman Arkham Origins feels like you could beat the living crap out of some scumbag on the streets, and then drop him a little present, and then scurry off into the night again just to try and find the next bad guy kind of Christmas, which we do everyone knows that kind of Christmas. We all do it.
Can I ask a stupid question?
Always.
I thought about this the other day.
Yes.
And I've earmarked this question to ask you in this podcast. Why is it Miles Morales and not Miles Morals?
Because it's a...
Because when you look at the name, the name, Miles Morales.
It's because it's a...
I've broken him. He's broken.
It's a Latino name, isn't it? I can't remember if it's his mum that's Spanish. No, sorry, she's not Spanish. She's Portuguese. She's from a Spanish-speaking country. But I can't remember exactly which one it is. But I know that Morales is a Latino name. But wait, you just said that. Did you know? And I only
Puerto Rican.
Is he Puerto Rican? There you go.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah. I just knew that. I'm not on Wikipedia.
So, he says. Tails from Sonic the Hedgehog. What's Tails' full name?
Ginger little spinny tails man.
His full name is Miles Prower, which is a pun on miles per hour.
That's so much better. Why is he known as Tails then?
Because he's got two tails and spins them to go fast.
That's such a better name. Oh, so not far off my first answer then.
Literally. Yeah, exactly.
Oh god. No, that's two pretty good picks for your Christmas games. Fair play.
Yeah, because my first instinct was to go with the exact same thing that you said, which was that particular level in Gex 3D. But then I was thinking hard to myself, surely I've played more Christmas games than that. And lo and behold, yeah, I found those two, and I was like, oh, completely forgot about those. It's absolutely right, yeah. So those are my two, and they're really good games as well. If you haven't played them, go and play them because they are fantastic. Miles Morales is a shorter campaign, but it's still 20 hours long and definitely worth your time. So yeah, those are my Christmas.
You were gonna sigh at this. I still haven't played Spider-Man on PlayStation. I think I've had a quick go at it. Lauren platinumed it. I know it's on Steam now, and I think the ROG will run it. I'm kind of hoping it comes to Xbox, because it's one I would quite enjoy on the TV with the soundbar and the sort of full experience. I don't know if there are any plans for that to come to Xbox, though. We'll have to see. If not now, it may happen.
Yeah.
But what I would like to do, if you would indulge me, is to delve into this week's news and controversies. And I'm sure you had you've got your introduction on this, so I don't want to steal your thunder. I'm just going to skip through the Game Awards, skip through all that, and you can come back to it. And Lego Batman. Now, I played one Batman game which I really enjoyed. It was on PS2.
Yep.
Do you know which one it was? It was with which game was it?
Well, funnily enough, I just
Begin. No.
Yes, it was. I picked the copy of this up myself recently. It is Batman Begins, which is based on the first film, the first Nolan film.
Who's the actor in it again? What's his name?
Oh, excuse me. Well, all of the cast from the film make it into the game. So you've got Christian Bale as Batman.
That's it, Christian Bale. Thank you.
You've got Michael Caine as Alfred, which is
Michael Caine.
Some of the best casting I've ever seen. The fantastic Cillian Murphy was Scarecrow, and then is it Katie? Oh, what was her name?
Could you say Master Bruce, please?
Well, as Michael Caine.
Please say it. Yeah.
Well, is it say Master Bruce or does it say Master Wayne? Master Bruce. There you go.
That's quite good. I'll give you that.
Yeah.
Well, my point was that game was phenomenal. Like, I rarely play those games, and obviously you are the Batman, huge Batman fan, aren't you? I mean, yeah, that's a whole episode we could, I think, talk about there.
I have a small library downstairs, and it is ever growing. I recently got hold of the first volume of Absolute Batman. It is brutal, but yes, I am severely looking forward to this new Lego Batman game. 100%.
Well, this is it. I mean, we played one of the most recent Lego Star Wars games, and it was good, but I found myself, sometimes with the Lego games, I kind of struggle a little bit, because they just kind of seem, smash everything, and I kind of lose the point a little bit.
Yeah.
This Lego Batman game, I'm hyped for. I think it looks brilliant. It's kind of got it's somehow, as they're all Lego, it's captured that really moody atmosphere, but then obviously it'll come out with something really funny. There'll be some sort of really funny line, and the gameplay looks fantastic, and the way they revealed it was great as well.
Yeah. In
the Game Awards, so I am very excited to play that.
What excites me about that?
So how are you feeling?
So there's a particular clip. I don't know which. It is an original game, but it's not at the same time, because there's a clip in this trailer that they showed where there's lots of different Batmobiles from different films, and you think, okay, you can drive all these Batmobiles. However, I don't know what story they're going down, which story they're going to go down, because it's the beginning of Arkham Asylum, which is the first Arkham game, but it's Heath Ledger's Joker that's strapped in the gurney as they're walking him down. And there's lots of other bits and bobs throughout the trailer which make you think, oh, this is based on Batman Returns, but why am I playing as Christian Bale? Oh, this is based on Batman Forever, but I'm playing as Adam West? What? I've no idea how they're doing it, but it looks phenomenal, but it looks like they've incorporated almost every Batman mythos into this one game, and it's going to be massive. And that's why I can't wait for it, because I can't wait to see what bits of what Batman universe they've pulled into this game. Can
I ask you a question?
Yes.
What killed the dinosaurs?
The Ice Age!
It looks really good. I mean, how would you feel if they kind of did levels? So at one point you're going through one film, the next one they're dipping into the next, or not even film, just storylines. How would you feel if it dipped into all of them? Almost like sort of a Crash, sort of warped level kind of system. How would you feel about something like that?
Well, here's what I don't want them to do, because I've also got that newest Lego Skywalker Saga game, and I feel like one of the things that they took away from the original Lego Star Wars game was that sense of openness. The levels were extremely short, and yes, there were things to smash up around the area that you were playing in, but they were never part of the puzzle. It's a case of, oh, I can smash these crates. Great. That's it. Move on to the next section of the game. You can collect a few little bits and bobs from here, and here's a nod to one of the films, and then that's the level done. I'm thinking, hang on a minute. Where's the platforming sections? Where are the puzzles? Where's the bit where I've got to switch between characters? So much was missing. It was all style, but no substance. And I'm hoping that that's what this next game will not be. I'm hoping it will be a bit of everything.
I could not have said that better myself. That absolutely perfect. Yeah. Well, have you got anything before I delve into anything? Are you happy for me to ad hoc at the Game Awards, or have you got an intro for that, or have you got anything you want to talk about before I jump in?
Well, I mean, there are a couple of things that I did want to mention, but I'm not going to steal your thunder. You go ahead.
Well, have you heard the mega Nintendo, the Nintendo release that will probably make you go out right now and buy a Switch 2? Right now. At this time.
Right now. Nothing's open.
Yeah, it's that good. It's that good. You will find somewhere. There'll be an Argos down in Cornwall. You'll race down there to go and buy the device.
By the time I get to Cornwall, it'll be like 6 a.m. tomorrow morning.
The brand new game. It's never been released before. Skyrim has been released on the Switch 2, and I believe locked at 40 frames as well.
Wait a minute. Didn't Skyrim come out for the Nintendo Switch 1?
Yes.
Why? What? Why? Why?
And Xbox 360 and One and Series X, and just about at this point, if someone gets it running on a calculator, I wouldn't be surprised. And the Steam Deck, given its age, will still run that at similar FPS, but you can also mod it and still have it running at the same FPS. I mean, it's that. What have you done to my boy, isn't it?
Yeah.
Just leave it alone. It was a phenomenal game. Leave it alone. Now, if you want to leave it X amount of years, like you did with Oblivion, and then remaster it and blow everyone's socks off, fine. I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
But leave it alone. Stop releasing it and flogging it. It's like devaluing what is an incredible title, So, yeah. That was disappointing for me. Expedition 33, Lauren's, my wife's game of the year. I
think it was everyone's
really
game of the
enjoying
year.
it. Just crazy. Was it 7 awards? I think it won. And won the Game Award, a game of the year. But for me, the story was incredible, and I was loving it right up until a point where it's reaction based. So whether to dodge or to block, even though it's turn based.
Right.
And that's where I just had to bow out, because even on the easiest difficulty, I'm not about that. If it's just the turn based, or a spin off that, I mean, that's very similar to Xenoblade, which is still, one of my favourite game franchises of all time. But yeah, amazing, incredible story. The music is phenomenal. I think the other thing I'd just like to talk about is South from Midnight, which was in the Game Awards. And South from Midnight is a brilliant game. It's on Game Pass. I started to play it one Friday night.
Yeah.
And I think it was Sunday mid-afternoon I'd completed it. I just couldn't put it down. It's a bit of an unsung hero. If you do anything, just find a clip of Two-Toed Tom. Have a look at Two-Toed Tom and the music from that.
That sounds...
That will probably hook you into South from Midnight. It's fantastic. Narrative, story-driven. It's almost got like a slight stop motion to it. I think you can disable that feature if you want. But it's just, some parts of it are almost like Fever Dream-esque. They're just so weird, but somehow it's kind of all still pleasant. It's kind of weird, but it's not one of those... Every game now seems to be going into this like horror. How disgusting can we make this? Let's think of something really weird and messed up, and everyone's doing it now.
I've seen a few games like that, especially with that, as you say, that stop motion aesthetic where it looks like it's only 20 frames a second with no motion blur. Yeah.
Yeah. So that won an award, and I was really happy to see that, and it's a good game. So that's probably it in my this week's news and controversies, other than RAM prices are still going up. They're still ridiculous. I saw someone flogging 64 gig of DDR5, I think, or it might even be DDR4 on Facebook for £350 from his personal rig. They're getting crazy now. Just absolutely crazy prices.
That's madness.
So that's my week's news and controversies. Have you got any news, any controversies, and what do you think of the Game Awards?
Well, I do have... There's one controversy that is Game Awards related that I want to bring up. There's two games that did pique my interest. The first one, which I think was semi-original, but I think it could be really good, is I saw the trailer for The Free Shepherd. Did you watch that?
Oh, were you the dog?
Where you're the dog, yeah. It was a golden retriever.
Collie.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, it was Border Collie.
It was a Border Collie. You're 100%
If it was a golden
correct.
retriever, I would have bought it. I would have bought it there and then. Having a Labrador, I'd be like, but no, we were all watching it, and even our dog, the Labrador, was sat there watching the TV, and ears were up straight away, and yeah, it looks great, didn't it?
It did, yeah. Sorry, you're 100% right. It was a Border Collie, not a golden retriever. I don't know why I've got golden retrievers in my head.
I don't know why that offended me. Sorry.
So yeah, it looks. I played Stray, where you play a cat. On the PS4 or PS5 when that came out, and that melted my heart. I've never cried so hard at a game. And this new game looks sort of along that line. No, it's not a cyberpunk game, but it feels very relaxing. It feels like a big adventure game where, of course, you play as the dog, seemingly. And it looks like some of the missions are just going to be herding sheep, but then you've got to traverse through these vast vistas in these landscapes, and it looks just beautiful. I cannot wait to see more of that. And then we got him a controversies. So about a year ago, it might have been even longer than that, there was a stunning cinematic trailer for a game called Star Wars Eclipse. I think this trailer's still on YouTube. If you get a chance, go take a look at it, because I had to rub my eyes and go, what am I watching? Is this CGI? Is it not? And then, yeah, there's a brilliant reveal at the end of the trailer saying that there's a new Star Wars game coming out. And then they announced this new game, which, well, as I was watching it, I thought, this could be Star Wars. It's got a Star Warsy feel. And then, obviously, the lightsaber powers up, and you go, oh, yeah, it's a Star Wars game. But it's the title where it came up, Fate of the Old Republic. Now, I've never played an Old Republic game, but I know that they carry their weight. I know that they are very highly regarded, and you could tell from the crowd, because they were in absolute uproar about it. I think that's one to look out for, but I'm kind of going, okay, so this sounds good, this could be great, but what happens to all of the other Star Wars games that you've announced? Have they just disappeared in the wind? I always feel a bit like LucasArts and Disney have always got a lot too much going on sometimes. And then going back to returning franchises. So you mentioned Skyrim, and yes, there's been thousands of iterations of the same game. There was another announcement, one of which I was happy about, and one of which just made me scratch my head a little bit. So Tomb Raider is back, and we've had a bunch of iterations of the first game. So you had the original one in 1996, then the anniversary edition in 2006, which was kind of a remake, which looked fantastic. And both of those have got their own universes. So Tomb Raider 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then that is Angel of Darkness. That's its own. And then you had the Tomb Raider Legends, Tomb Raider Anniversary. Car crash?
Angel of Darkness was terrible.
It was. That's
hot take.
That's why they had to reboot it with Legend and Anniversary. And then there was Underworld. And then they rebooted it again with this more gritty style Tomb Raider. And now they're going back seemingly to the original style of Tomb Raiders with a sequel to the original, which is called Catalyst. And that made me go, oh, that's cool. And then they revealed the next trailer for the newer Tomb Raider game that's going to be coming out next year called, was it Legend of Atlantis or something like that?
Atlantis. Yeah, I think you had, was it Atlantis and the one that you've just mentioned? I want to say Catalyst. Was it Catalyst and Atlantis?
So Catalyst is the new adventure coming out.
Similar to that, yeah.
But Atlantis is a remake of the original one. But last year we had the remastered editions of all of the original 5 or 6 Tomb Raider games, which means that Tomb Raider from 1996 has now had 4 different iterations of the exact same game. 1996, 2006, the 2024 remaster, and now another remake coming in 2026, seemingly for the 30th anniversary. That is another case of leave it alone. Because we're playing the same game over and over and over again.
I want to add a category to our podcasts as the last thing that we do before the outro.
Go on.
And this is complete ad hoc. We've not discussed this. I'd like this to be tinfoil hat. So here is my tinfoil hat of the 14th of December. Cool. When you go back and you watch, so it's Legacy of Atlantis apparently.
Okay, yeah.
When you go back and watch the trailer for this and the new game, I've noticed that the graphics and the scope of entities that's actually on the screen at any one time and the level of detail that we're starting to see from some of these trailers, which they could, we've seen it before where the trailer looks phenomenal, the game comes out, looks nothing like it. That's a regular occurrence. But if these are, I think we're potentially looking at games, especially given the 2026, 2027 dates, that will be on the next generation of consoles. That's my tinfoil hat. You go back and you look at those, they're either running the most mega spec PC that's out there at the minute with very expensive RAM, or we're looking at next gen consoles, and I think we are. But that's my tinfoil hat moment. I didn't realise it was a remake, so thank you for that. I didn't realise it was a...
I agree. I agree that looking at the timeline at which PlayStations have been released, they tend to be sort of every 6 years. And the PS5 was released in 2020, and then, is it last year, or even the year before that, they released the PS5 Pro. I think that potentially next year, the PS6 could be announced, and you're absolutely right. Everything that's being released now, lo and behold, will get released again as a remaster, running at 4K, 120 FPS with ray tracing and all the bells and whistles on PS6, because that's what happened last time.
Could you do me a favour?
Yes.
Just adjust that tinfoil hat, get it really on, get it really moulded to that head. Right?
It's on.
Sony announced a thing saying that they were going to run the PlayStation console, the PS5, for longer, didn't they? They said due to, they're still seeing the demand. I think what's going to happen is 2026, we're going to see the release of the new Xbox, which is going to remove any barrier to pay to play online, because it's going to be a fully Windows 11 running machine.
Okay.
With Xbox full screen experience based off what they've learned from the ROG. I think that's going to come out in 2026 and be able to run those sort of games. I think Sony are going to let it cook in the oven a little bit more until 2027. Where the graphics will be, I think it'll be slightly more powerful, because obviously they lost out to the Series X, and they come out with loads of sort of unique first party games again, because that's what they do. On launch, Sony always smash it, and I think they're going to let Xbox release their next console PC thing, see how that goes, as to whether they change their trajectory or if they pull out any odd moves, and then I think 2027 we'll see the next PlayStation. That's my tinfoil hat moment. Over and out.
Yeah, no, you could be absolutely right. I always thought that Xbox were pulling out of the gaming market, but they could surprise us yet with another one and potentially learn from previous mistakes and go, right, we know what it is that everyone's asking for. Here it is. And PlayStation are going to back off a little bit and then say, right, here's what Xbox have done. Let's take some of that and run with it in our own way and not necessarily, what's the word I'm looking for? Not be competition, but run their own race, but still attempts to be better, as it were.
And I think they've already done this, because you look at so Xbox are still, I believe quite firmly, they're still in the gaming lineup. And you think Steam Machine, and you think the new ROG, what people want to be able to do is play their games anywhere.
Yeah.
And not necessarily the play anywhere as in everything's an Xbox, but in regards to, if I've got a game on Epic, or I've got a game on Steam, or I've got a game on Xbox, I want to play it in the same place. I think Microsoft have realised the niche that they've set, others are now trying to follow. For example, your PlayStation Portal. I don't know if you know, if you've got the correct tier, if you've bought a game, you can stream that now from the cloud. You don't need to have it installed on your PlayStation 5.
Right.
So they're already taking steps to kind of see what see what's worked, see what Xbox have thrown at the wall, because they've thrown all sorts at the wall, see what sticks, and then try to make their own version of that. And that's why I think they're going to let Xbox take this big gamble, try to go in this different direction and see what happens. Because if it doesn't work, well, 2027, they can capitalise on it. And if it does work, they can try to build in some kind of business model to counteract it. Or, as you say, they could stay in their own niche.
Yeah.
But I think, looking at what they've done already, I don't think they'll do that. I think that's a way that they would maybe start to... I was going to say fall behind, but Xbox have had such reputational damage in the release of consoles, this generation of consoles. I think it's very interesting, isn't it? It's certainly very interesting.
I think all we can do is just sit back and find out, wait to see what they do. But I will say for this for Nintendo, they've definitely cut their own niche out when they realised that they were behind, and they've gone, you know what, we're going to do this instead. And they've not been beaten. Nintendo, not so much in sales, but in terms of just sheer entertainment for everyone and innovation in their games, they'll never be beaten by the likes of PlayStation and Xbox. So PlayStation and Xbox have got to fight it between themselves, while Nintendo just sit back and laughs, basically.
Yeah, and I think, well, this to spin it back round on all of our topics, but imagine a device, Dorian, for you, where you're playing a game that's a cosy game, a nice happy game, a game that you can rewind after relax after work.
Yeah.
But then, hey, someone wants to watch something on the TV. No problem. I'll just slide this console out of the dock and I can carry on whilst you're watching TV. Dorian could turn to Nintendo. I don't know.
We'll see.
What you're saying is a Nintendo Switch would work for you. I've got 2 shelves worth of games and a bookshelf full of physical media. If ever you got one that you could dock, I have got so many things that you could borrow and get into. But what a way for all it to come around. But as you say, Nintendo they've just stuck to their guns, haven't they?
Yep.
But also they've got some weird pairings with I say weird pairings, there's lots of history to it, but Resident Evil and all sorts, a few other franchises. But yeah, interesting, and lots of news for us to talk about in the coming months and years, that's for sure.
It's exciting, definitely exciting. But I think we've run out of time for today, so what do you think about next week's topic? What should we do?
Oh, that's a very good point. Well, because this will be the week before Christmas, won't it?
It will, yeah. I had one idea. It's not particularly Christmassy, but I've had a particular piece of music in my head over the past couple of days, and then I realised just how good the soundtrack was, despite the fact that I've been listening to these tunes for over 30 years now. So, my potential idea, running off the thought that I had in my head of this piece of music that I've had in my head, is our favourite game intro music. Or game introductions.
Oh, okay. I already know. I've just there's one that beats all of them. It's not opinion. It's fact.
Oh right, them's fighting words. I like that.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I want us to discuss that. Is maybe the week's topic, and then if I can just counter off that as something that's a bit more Christmassy, maybe we could talk over this briefly.
Yeah.
a Christmas Day moment which is related to gaming. Be that you get a certain game, be that you have a certain moment, something gaming related that happened on Christmas that you can remember with fond memories. We've got to both pick a memory to discuss.
Yeah, you're 100%. Let's shelve game intros for now, and
I could do that as well. Let's do both. Let's give them extra.
All right.
It's what the people want before Christmas.
Go on, we're giving. Let's not be Scrooges.
Brilliant.
Fantastic. So, yeah, next week's topic then, we're going to do that. We're going to go into Christmas Day gaming memories, and we're going to talk about our favourite gaming intro music as well. But we're going to end it there, folks. That's all we've got time for. If you're new, thanks for listening. For anyone that's come back for episode 3, thank you very much for coming back. We hope you've enjoyed it. We love doing these, and the feedback has been phenomenal. Thanks again to the guys at UK Nintendo Switch podcast for mentioning us. And if anyone's come here from there, thanks for taking their advice and coming to listen to us. Or if you've hated it, let us know. Let us know if there's something you'd like to change. And of course, we're going to take any feedback on board. But thank you very much again for joining us. And we'll see you all next week. Cheers, guys.
Have a good week, all. See you later.